Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Welcome to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. This podcast is information about Walt Disney World, which is organized by topic. I'm your host, Alyssa Salveson. Hello, welcome to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. I'm Alyssa. This is episode 4, and today we're going to be doing an overview of another one of the 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World, and this theme park is called Epcot. Epcot opened in 1982. It was the second theme park in Walt Disney World, and it started out. Epcot is an acronym for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, and it was given that name by Walt Disney himself in 1966. So, towards the end of his life, Walt Disney was really interested in cities and the problems that cities had. And he wanted to create a community where civilians could live, like an idealized community. This idealized city was his vision for Epcot, experimental prototype community of tomorrow. However, after Walt and Roy passed, the Walt Disney Company decided Walt's idea of this idealized city was truly unrealistic, and the Walt Disney Company didn't want to get involved in government, things like that. But they took his idea of creating a city, a civilization, and instead they took that same idea and created a theme park. So Epcot has changed a lot throughout the years, and it certainly has a focus on progress. Currently, it's divided into 4 different worlds or lands, but they're called worlds. So there's World Celebration, World Nature, World Discovery, and World Showcase. Epcot's icon is a giant ball. It almost looks like a giant golf ball. So if you've seen that icon before, that the theme park that we're talking about is that one. That's an Epcot. Epcot, like Magic Kingdom, is a park where you would need a ticket to enter. You need to pay money, purchase a ticket, and that's how you'd enter the theme park. And the theme park, just like Magic Kingdom, has attractions and shows, shops, characters, dining, fireworks, other entertainment, and magical extras you can do as well. It too has a child care center and a first aid center. You can rent strollers there. There's a lot offered in every theme park in Walt Disney World. So, we're going to discuss what Epcot has to offer, just like I did in the Magic Kingdom overview. We're going to go over those categories: attractions, entertainment, characters, dining, shops, magical extras. That's how we're going to talk about the information in Epcot. And then we're going to go through it by land or area within Epcot, which again, it has the word world in front of it. So World Celebration. So the different lands, there's World Celebration. It's right in the center of the park as you walk in, and on the Walt Disney website, it says connect with the global community. The Epcot Ball is there. There's a beautiful new statue of Walt Disney. There's some character meets there and a lot of entertainment that goes on in that area. There are some shops there, a place to eat, and there's a festival hub in that area. Then there's World Nature, and this is where the Land and Sea Pavilion are. And on the Walt Disney World website, it says, be amazed by our incredible planet. There's World Discovery, explore the wonders of science and technology. This is where there are space themed things in this section, attractions and whatnot are in that section. And then there's World Showcase, discover cultures across 11 countries. This is where it's a big loop around a body of water, and this is where the different countries are. When we're talking about Epcot, I want you to visualize a number 8. Epcot sort of is like 2 circles. So when you walk in, there's one circle where the ball is, okay? And then World Showcase is a completely separate circle. All right, so when you walk in under Epcot, if you were to bear right, That's where World Nature is. That's where the Land and Sea Pavilion are. Okay. World Celebration is right there, the Epcot ball, the center. If you were to walk straight under the Epcot ball, straight in the middle, that's World Celebration. And that also includes the Imagination Pavilion, which is past land, but that technically is in World Celebration. And then to the left of the ball, like in that circle, the front circle to the left. So, like, if you're at a clock, you're 9 o'clock. In the first circle is where the World Discovery section is. Okay. So those three are in like the first circle. And then the whole second circle is World Showcase. Epcot is a very large park. Be prepared to walk a lot. Wear good shoes when you're going to Epcot. Epcot is a very large park. You're going to get lots of steps in. Now, Epcot, sure, is very attractive to adults. It has a lot of different food and beverage. It's become a festival park. There are a variety of different festivals throughout the year that are housed at Epcot. So it's super attractive to adults, but it's great for kids too. And in each of the countries, there's a Kid Cot Fun Stop where littles can learn and be engaged in the different countries. You can pick up a fun memento with facts and activities featuring the culture and traditions at each country as you travel around. So it's a fun little thing to do in World Showcase. Okay, so we're going to dive right into the attractions offered at Epcot. These attractions are rides and shows where you'd get in line and sit down in a queue. There's the Kid Cot stations are in here, and then also art galleries or different a variety of galleries. Some I would like also to preface this, know that I'm going to talk about all the attractions that are offered, but please know that sometimes attractions or restaurants or whatever are closed for a variety of reasons, for refurbishment, for a retheme, for an unknown reason that I'm not sure of. I'm going to list what's there and tell you if it's open or not. But before you go, if you hear something and that sounds like something you want to do, be sure to go online and check the most current up to date status on that ride on the My Disney Experience app on your phone or the My Disney Experience website. It'll tell you what attractions are down or not. But again, you might be listening to this years after I am recording it. So be sure to go ahead and double check to make sure that attraction will be open when you want to ride it. We're going to start at World Celebration. That is the Epcot Ball you're walking in. And that Epcot Ball actually is a ride. It's a ride called Spaceship Earth. Then there's Project Tomorrow, which is inventing the wonders of the future. That's a big area at the exit of Spaceship Earth, just a lot of different activities you can do. There's Dreamer's Point, which is the Walt statue, and there you can take photos with the Walt statue. I wouldn't list that as an attraction, but in the app it's listed as an attraction. So that is why I'm speaking about this here. There's Journey into Imagination with Figment, and that's in the Imagination building. It's like a big triangle, a pyramid. There's ImageWorks, the What If Labs, and those are also like experiments and engaging things you can do right at the exit of the Figment attraction. There's the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, which is a 4D experience, and that's all that's offered in World Celebration. Okay, World Nature. In World Nature, there's the Sea Pavilion. It's right towards the right. Once you walk under Spaceship Earth, you're gonna like bear right, and that's where you'll get World Nature. In World Nature, again, in the Sea Pavilion, which is what you'll stumble across upon first, there's the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is a very cute little ride. You go in, you see part of the aquarium on the ride. It's a cute little ride. Once you get out of the Seas with Nemo and Friends in the Sea Pavilion, there's an aquarium, a very large aquarium. You can see tons of animals. It's a really cool aquarium. There's Turtle Talk with Crush, which is awesome. There's a live actor who's you're looking at a screen and it's Crush from Finding Nemo. but there's a live actor who's speaking as him. So you can ask Crash questions and a live person is answering you through like as Crash. It's very cool. And then there's Bruce's Shark World, which is a cute little, I don't want to say playground, but there's a big Bruce like shark, great white shark head. Kids can climb in and around, and there's little aquariums around there. It's a cute little play area. So the Sea Pavilion has a lot to offer. Then outside, there's the Journey of Water, which is inspired by Moana. It's an interactive exhibit, outside exhibit. It's quite cool and it's new to the park. Then there's the Land Pavilion. In the Land Pavilion, there are three attractions. There's Soarin' Around the World, which you need to be 40 inches in order to ride. There's Living with the Land, and there's Awesome Planet, which is a film. Then there's World Discovery, which is the spacey type area in the park. In there, there are quite a few rides as well. There's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and you have to be 42 inches to ride. That is a new attraction here in Walt Disney World and at Epcot. And currently it's operating on a virtual queue. I'll talk about this more when we talk about multi-pass and attractions for sure, but I'm going to talk about it real quick right here. So currently, as of my recording date, which is November 25th, and the air date is December 1st. I hope it doesn't change between now and then. You have to log on to My Disney Experience at 7 a.m. I would do it a little bit before 7 a.m. and get in a virtual queue. You're going to choose the people in your party and go through the prompts on the screen in the My Disney Experience app to join a virtual queue. And all that means is you can go about your day until your boarding group is called. And then when your boarding group is called, you have an hour, I believe, to get over to Guardians of the Galaxy and then wait on the line there. You scan in and then you'd wait in the queue at the actual attraction and then you'd ride the attraction. So it's just so you're not wasting extra time online. Eventually, that won't be a virtual queue, but right now it is operating as such. And so I do want to make note of that. You can join a virtual queue from your resort from anywhere at 7 a.m., but then you can also join another virtual queue at 1 p.m. If you miss the 7 a.m. one, you can try again at 1 p.m., but at 1 p.m., you do have to be in Epcot. You do have to be inside the park in order to join that virtual queue. And then to add a even more complication, if you are staying in a deluxe resort and Epcot's having extra magic at like evening hours that day, you could actually join again at 6 p.m. But that is complicated and not the norm. So really just think about the 7 a.m. and then the 1 p.m. But you have to be in the park for the 1 p.m. Okay? So again, that's just to get a spot that then you get on the physical line. And it'll tell you approximately what time sometimes. Okay, so there's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the newest ride. It's so awesome. Definitely go on it. Then there's the Advanced Training Lab, which is an interactive play area. It's basically a playground, and that's inside next to Mission Space. There's Mission Space, which is an attraction like you're about to ride a rocket up into space, and you must be 40 inches for that. There are two different tracks on Mission Space. One is a little less intense than the other. So be aware of that when you're going to ride that ride. And then there's Test Track. Test Track, you also need to be 40 inches to ride. And that's like you go through and you're picking a car and then you're testing the car out in different weather and different speeds, things like that. Its current Test Track is currently as my on my recording date. It is currently closed for refurbishment. It's actually being rethemed to Tesla. So at recording date, this is not an option if you were going here, November 25th, you wouldn't be able to ride Test Track, but it will be an option for many of you. So again, that is important to note, to check the My Disney experience if you really want to ride this ride and see when it's due to reopen. So those are your four attractions in World Discovery. Then there's World Showcase, which are the countries. Before you enter the countries, there's like a little entrance way to World Showcase, and there's a friendship lodge. There's actually like a ferry boat that will take you to three different parts along the country loop. Okay, so there's two different ports right there, right as you're entering the World Showcase. So that's good to know. In Mexico, which is to the left as you travel around the countries, I always start in Mexico, so I'm going to start in Mexico this way, again, like going clockwise. In Mexico, there's the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the Three Caballeros, which is a very cute little boat ride featuring Donald Duck and Jose and Panchito, the Three Caballeros, and it's a very cute little ride. There's a Kid Cot fun spot there, as there are in all 11 countries. And there's a Mexico folk art gallery right when you walk into the Mexico pavilion. Then their next country coming up would be Norway. In Norway, there's Frozen Ever After, an adorable ride. Any height can ride it, but it's a very cute little ride. Frozen themed, of course. There's a Kid Cot fun stop there, and there's the Stave Church Gallery. In China, there's the House of Whispering Willows, which is a sneak peek into Shanghai Disney. There's a Kid Cot fun stop there, and there's a 12-minute Circle Vision 360 film called Reflections of China. There's an African outpost after China, and they have a really cute music area. They have drums and chimes and things where you can make music. My kid, that is a must stop for my children. Next, you have Germany going from the left, going clockwise around the World Showcase. Germany, there's a Kid Cock fun stop. There's a train, like a model train outside. It's very cute. It's actually not listed in the app under attractions, but I know it's there and my kids love to, I like to walk through it. It's very cute. So there's outside, there's a model train and town. It's very cute. And then in Germany, there's a friendship launch ferry there. So from the front of the park, you can go right to Germany and you can go to one other spot as well. After Germany comes Italy, and there's a Kid Cot fun stop there as well. Next, you have the American Adventure, and in the American Adventure, there's a Kid Cot fun stop. There's the American Adventure, which is a film, and then there's the American Heritage Gallery. After American Adventure is Japan. And in Japan, you have the Bujutsu Kan Gallery and a Kid Cot fun stop. Next is Morocco. There's a Gallery of Arts and History there, a Kid Cot fun stop, and another ferry stop there. France is next with Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, a Kid Cot fun stop, and there's a Beauty and the Beast sing along, which is tons of fun. And then there's an 18-minute film called Impressions de France. Next is United Kingdom with a Kid Kat fun stop. And finally, our final country is Canada. And in Canada, there's a Circle Vision 360 film as well called Canada Far and Wide. And there's a Kid Kat fun stop. Those are your attractions in Epcot. Next is entertainment. In World Celebration, you have Jameters, it's like a little band. Forces of Nature by Anti-Gravity, which are acrobats. I've seen that before. It's really cool. It's right in the center hub once you walk past Spaceship Earth. And then there's Celebración Encanto, which is a big festival with trivia, dancing, and sing-alongs with your favorite friends from Encanto and Encanto music. Nothing entertainment wise in World Nature. And in World Discovery, there's a playground over there as well. So there's actually two playgrounds in World Discovery, one inside by Mission Space and then another outside by the Creations shop. Okay, entertainment in World Showcase now. In Mexico, you have Mariachi Cobre and Marimba de las Americas. Then in Germany, you have entertainment at the Germany Gazebo. In Italy, there's Sergio, who's a master juggler and mime. He is so much fun. It is such a fun environment there in Italy. You got to check him out. In the American Adventure, there are the beautiful Voices of Liberty. Ah, they're incredible. And then there's the American Gardens Theater, which hosts a lot of things all throughout the year. And this is where I'm gonna have a section talking about just listing the festivals, and then I'll have episodes that dissect each festival later on. But during the festivals, they often they'll use that theater. So at launch date December 1st, it's Festival of the Holidays, and the Candlelight Processional occurs there in the American Gardens Theater. During Food and Wine, there's Eat to the Beat concert series, and that happens at the American Gardens Theater. Then there's like a Broadway thing that happens during Festival of the Arts, and that happens at the theater. So they utilize that American Gardens Theater all year round, or most of the time, and that's in the American Adventure. But usually that's seasonal, so you'd have to check on what like festival was going on at the time. In Japan, now after America is Japan, and in Japan there's Matsuriza, which is the sound of taiko, a form of drumming. They're really cool. That's awesome to watch too. Then you have Morocco. In Morocco, there's an Atlas Fusion Moroccan band. Then in United Kingdom, there's a Rose and Crown pub musician inside the Rose and Crown restaurant or pub. And then there's command performance. And then at nighttime, the nighttime spectacular is called Luminous, the Symphony of Us. And that occurs right in the center of World Showcase in the water, and that's your entertainment. Next, we're going to talk about characters. Now, characters are a little tricky in the app. I get a little frustrated when dealing with the My Disney Experience app in regards to characters specifically, because if you look at Epcot and you look at the drop down and you look at characters, there's like none listed. You have to look under Photo Pass, and some aren't even listed. I just know that they often meet because I've seen them there. So it's a little hard because things change quickly. I'm just going to do my best to list characters that I know of, but it's a little, you might want to, if you're there and you're not seeing the character that you would like to see, I would just ask a cast member there when you get to Epcot because the app doesn't have them all listed. So in World Celebration, there's Mickey and Pals, and Figment also meets. In World Nature, you can meet Moana right by Moana Journey of Water. I don't believe there's any characters in World Discovery yet. None are listed. In World Showcase, and this is where it gets a little tricky. So right at the entrance, before you enter the countries, at the entrance of World Showcase, you can meet Asha from Wish. In Mexico, you can meet a festive Donald Duck with a sombrero. There's a PhotoPass photographer there. In Norway, you can meet Anna and Elsa. There's also character dining there where you can meet princesses. I'll talk about that during dining. In China, you can meet Mulan. In Germany, I couldn't find this on the app, but I have met Snow White in Germany. I have a picture last February of my boys hugging Snow White. So I know she meets in Germany as well, but I could not find it on the app. In Morocco, you can meet Jasmine. In France, you can meet Aurora, and I believe Belle meets in France as well. Again, I cannot find this on the app, but I've seen both of them there meeting. So that's where I would ask a cast member maybe when you're entering the park. At the International Gateway, I've met Daisy, Pluto, Goofy. I've met some of the pals there at the International Gateway, but again, they're not listed on the app. And then in the United Kingdom, same thing, not listed on the app, but I've seen Mary Poppins there. I've seen Alice in Wonderland there, and I've seen Winnie the Pooh has a meet there as well. So characters, it's a little tricky, but you will see characters in Epcot. It's just a little confusing. All right, we're going to talk about shopping now. In World Celebration, there's Getaway Gifts. There's a camera center right there under Spaceship Earth. That's where you can trade pins. A little quirk about Disney, a lot of people, they sell a lot pins. They have cute little themed pins. And oftentimes people like to trade their pins. You buy one, you wear it for a little bit, and then maybe you see another one you'd like better. But pin trading is a big thing, a little quirk in Disney, and that is a trading hot spot there. You can actually filter in shops for pin trading and see the locations in the My Disney Experience app on your phone. Right there under Spaceship Earth, you can also rent a stroller. That's where the stroller rental is. There's Club Cool, and then there's this new shop. It's called Creation Shop, and it's huge. You can find almost like anything there. It's a great shop to go to, Creation Shop. And then there's Image Works, which is in Figment, in that building where Figment, right? The Journey into Imagination with Figment is. There's a little shop there as well, a little Figment themed gift shop. In World Nature, there's a sea-based gift shop, which is right there in the Sea Pavilion. In World Discovery, there's Treasures of Xandar, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind gift shop. There's Mission Space Cargo Bay, which is the Mission Space gift shop. And then there's Test Track Emporium, which is the Test Track gift shop. In World Showcase, there, right in the beginning, there's Port of Entry, which is a cute little store. There's Disney Traders, so they're both on either side, kind of where the ferry boat launches are. There'll be stores right by there. And then in Mexico, you have four different shopping opportunities. You have La Princesa de Cristal, which they have one of those also in Magic Kingdom. La Tienda Encantada, Plaza de los Amigos, and Ring Carvers. And the Plaza de los Amigos, that's like right in the middle. It's all set up with little like kiosks, and it's very cute. The Mexico Pavilion is truly amazing and immersive and really awesome. You feel like you're outside, but you're inside. Awesome. And then there's ring carvers there as well. In Norway, there's the Fjording. In China, there's House of Good Fortune and Good Fortune Gifts. In Germany, there's, oh, I have to apologize because I do not know German, and I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce all these names, but I'm going to do my best. In Germany, there's Die Weihnachtseck, Eck, Eck, I don't know, but it's Old World German Christmas. Then there's Kuch, but a caramel shop. Steinhaus, where you can get steins. Weinkeller, Kunstarbeit in Kristall, which is like a crystal shop. Volkskunst, Das Kaufhaus, which is soccer themed. And Glaskunst, which where they'll personally engrave your stein. And you can even see a glass blower there in that store. I really apologize. I'm sure I butchered every single one of those stores. Okay, let's move over to Italy. In Italy, there's Il Bel Cristallo, La Gemma Elegante, which is Venetian masks and luxury items, and then La Bottega Italiana, which are Venetian masks in there as well. In the American Adventure, there's Art of Disney. In Japan, there's Mitsukoshi Department Store. It's a really large store. It's very fun. In Morocco, there's Souk al Maghreb. And I have to say, I believe a lot of the Morocco pavilion closed. I'm not sure if it was from COVID or what, but there used to be a ton of little shops, or at least more than just the one listed in the back of the Moroccan pavilion. It was such a beautiful pavilion. And there was a restaurant there too, but none of that is back open. But anyway, Souk al Maghreb is still there. In France, there are four different stores. There's Plume at Palais, La Signature. I'm sure I'm pronouncing all this incorrectly too. Le Vin de France, which is a wine shop, and Souvenirs de France. In International Gateway, there's a World Traveler store there, just a generic shop. International Gateway is another entrance to Epcot, and you access that from the boardwalk area. It's called the boardwalk, which is the area, but there's three resorts there. There's the boardwalk, yacht club, and beach club there. So you can enter Epcot through International Gateway as well. Then past International Gateway is United Kingdom, and United Kingdom has quite a few shops. There's the Toy Soldier, which is a toy store, Lords and Ladies, the Queen's Table, which is a china shop, the Crown and Crest, where you can get crest and coat of arms. Actually, my brother-in-law has a coat of arms there from this shop. There's the Sportsman shop and the Tea Caddy. And then in Canada, there's a Trading Post and Northwest Mercantile. Okay, next we have dining. There are four different dining options here at Epcot, okay? There are bars and lounges. There are kiosks. There are quick service restaurants where you can, and many of them you can mobile order. And then there are sit down restaurants. And part of sit down restaurants would be character dining as well. Epcot is truly known for their food and drinks. It is known for their dining. It's a festival park. They have a lot of food booths and food kiosks, which I won't talk about those festival specific kiosks in this episode. I'll talk about those when I do episodes talking about the festival. Jen, you know what I mean? So I'm going to list what's always available at Epcot, but know that there's tons more because there are festival specific kiosks and booths as well. You can check if there's a festival going on. You can see it online, you can see it on the app. But also, when you enter Epcot, there should be pamphlets right there when you enter. There also will be signage if there's a festival going on. It'll say like Food and Wine or Festival of the Arts or whatever. There'll be signage. And there's also will be a festival passport. So you can get that. And in there, it'll also talk about all the specific booths and their menus will be in that festival passport. And also the entertainment that will be going on at the American Pavilion at that theater. Or in the different pavilions as well. So festivals are really cool. And again, I will talk about this more at the end of this episode where I briefly talk about festivals. And also, I will have episodes just featuring each festival from Epcot. They'll have their own episode. Okay, so let's just dive right into dining. So in World Celebration, there's a Joffrey's Coffee, which is the coffee of Disney. There's a Joffrey's right at the entrance. And then there's Connections Eatery, and you can mobile order there. That is a quick service. In World Nature, there's a sit-down restaurant in the Sea Pavilion. It's called Coral Reef. It's cute, and it's right on the aquarium. It's a beautiful restaurant. It actually was featured in Full House. If you're a millennial listening to this like me, you might remember it from Full House. And it looks the same. Then there's a land cart, which is just snacks, but it's like fruit and hummus. There's just a little cart there. There's the Garden Grill, which is sit down dining option and character meal in the Land Pavilion. And that's a really cool restaurant. It actually rotates slowly, and they also serve some of the food that they grow there in the Land Pavilion. And then there's Sunshine Seasons, which is downstairs in the Land Pavilion. And that's also a quick service. And there's food from the Land Pavilion greenhouses there at that Sunshine Seasons. Then in World Discovery, so that's that space kind of themed area, there's another Joffrey's Coffee over there. And then there's a newish restaurant called Space 220. So there's a Space 220 lounge, like bar, and then there's the Space 220 sit down restaurant. A hard reservation to get, but it looks really, really cool. I've actually never been able to get a reservation, so I haven't been. But really cool space themed. You take like a rocket up to space and then you dine there. It's cool. And then there's a refreshment station, which is just a snack kiosk stand where you can get some beverages. Next, in World Showcase, in Showcase Plaza, there's a Joffrey's and there's a refreshment port, which is a quick service. In Mexico, there's Chose de Margaritas, which is a bar lounge right on the left as you approach Mexico. Across the street on the right on the water is La Cantina de San Angel, and that's a quick service restaurant, which is my favorite place to get a margarita, FYI, the cantina. Then there's Las Hacienda de San Angel, and that's a sit down restaurant on the water on the right side. And then there's La Cava del Tequila, which is inside Mexico, and that's a bar lounge. And then inside the Mexico Pavilion is San Angel Inn Restaurante, which is a lovely, beautiful atmosphere. Oh my God, lovely restaurant. And that's overlooking that ride, the Grand Fiesta Tour ride, the lovely water boat ride. It's very cute, very nice theming. Next in Norway, you have Kringla Bakery, Bakery og Cafe, which is a bakery. And then you have Akersås Royal. Again, I know I'm not pronouncing these words right correctly, and I apologize profusely for this. But there's Akershus, which is a royal banquet hall, which is a sit-down character meal with a whole bunch of princesses. So if you have a kid who loves princesses, a sit-down meal here might be a good idea for you. In China, there's the Joy of Tea, which has snacks and drinks, and it's a stand outside. There's the Nine Dragons Sit Down Restaurant, and that's inside the China Pavilion. And then there's Lotus Blossom Cafe, which is a quick service offered in China. At the outpost, there's a refreshment outpost, snacks and drinks. Germany, there's Carmel Kuch, which I talked about before with shopping. You can mobile order there. It's a quick service, and that shop features Werther's Carmel. There's Beer Garden Restaurant, which is a sit-down restaurant. It's a buffet, and they have live music. It's fun. They have like a band. It's a fun atmosphere. And then there's Summerfest, which is a quick service kiosk, and you can mobile order from there. Next, going into Italy, we have, of course, no surprise here, I have lots of dining options in Italy. There's Tutto Italia Ristorante, which is a sit-down restaurant. Tutto Gusto Wine Cellar, which is a bar or lounge. Via Napoli, which is a sit-down restaurant, pizza, things like that. And then there's a Gelateria Toscana, an ice cream place. It's a snack shop, but with gelato. American Adventure is after Italy. There's a Joffrey's Coffee there. There's Fife and Drum Tavern, which would be a snack. There's Regal Eagle Smokehouse, Craft Drafts, and Barbecue, which is a quick service. You can mobile order there as well. There's Block and Hans, which is a bar lounge, and there's a funnel cake snack shop, little kiosk thing, stand, I guess. Next is Japan. Japan has Kabuki Cafe, which is a snack or kiosk, and it has sushi. Katsura Grill, which is a quick service restaurant. Teppan Ito, which is a sit-down Japanese steakhouse, like a hibachi. Super cool. Very cool vibe. Then there's Shikisai, which sushi izakaya, which is a sit-down sushi restaurant. And then there's Takumi Te, which is a sit-down signature fine dining restaurant. You want to look at the menu before eating there and the prices. Hint, hint. Next is Morocco. There's Oasis Sweets and Sips, which is a snack shop. Spice Road Table, which is delicious. It's a sit-down restaurant, and that is on the water overlooking the lagoon. There's Tangerine Cafe, Flavors of the Medina, which is a quick service. And then I'm putting this in here even though it is not currently available. There was a restaurant, Marrakesh. It was a sit-down restaurant. It was amazing. The vibe was so cool. A Moroccan band would come and belly dancer. It was really a lovely restaurant, but it is not offered. But I do need to mention it. Next is France. France has Le Vin de Chef de France, which is a bar lounge, a wine bar. Chef de France, which is a sit-down restaurant, and it is delicious. I mean, not to sound dramatic, but I think I had the best meal of my life there at Chef de France. Larson de glaces. I don't know how to speak French, but that's snack, sorbet, and an ice cream shop. Le Halles Boulangerie Pâtisserie, which is a quick service pastry shop. Crepe, Crepes and Porter by La Crêperie de Paris, which is a quick service crepe shop that's over back by Remy Tui's Adventure France Pavilion's pretty big and goes kind of far back. So make sure if you're looking for crepes, you got to really like look for them, but they're in the back of the pavilion. And then there's a La Crêperie de Paris, which is a sit-down restaurant. Next is United Kingdom. There's Yorkshire County Fish Shop, which is a quick service and mobile order. And there's a beautiful seating area right outside there. You can go down. It's right on the water. It's a little hidden gem there. The Rose and Crown Dining Room, which is a sit-down restaurant there in the United Kingdom. There's the Rose and Crown Pub, which is the bar lounge there in United Kingdom. And then there's UK Beer Cart, which is a snack kiosk right outside. In Canada, there's Joffrey's Coffee there and a delicious restaurant, Le Cellier Steakhouse, which is a sit-down restaurant. And that is your dining. Again, not talking about the festival booths, just with the dining you can get any old time at Epcot. Next, I'm going to talk about some magical extras that Epcot has to offer. Certain nights, there will be an after hours event offered here at Epcot. So you could buy tickets to like Epcot after hours. And that is from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on select nights, February 27th through September 25th, 2025. So stay tuned for that. That is sounds awesome. I do find the after hours for me personally, I feel like that's really beneficial and I get a lot more done. I also was mentioning before, and this isn't really magical extras because it's not something you would tack on or pay separately for. It'd be included in your resort stay if you're at a deluxe resort. But Epcot on certain nights a week, Epcot is open later for guests that are staying at deluxe resorts. And that is awesome. You can really get a lot done. And like I was saying before, you could actually join a virtual queue at 6 p.m. from anywhere, not just at Epcot, to try to get on that virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy if you're a deluxe guest and it's the night that Epcot's open late for you. So that's a really good perk. But in World Nature, there's Dive Quest where you can go scuba diving in the Sea Pavilion in the aquariums. That's returning in spring of 2025. You can also take a behind the seeds tour at the Land Pavilion, and that's just around $40. And then in the winter, you can also do a behind the seeds glimmering greenhouses and take like an evening behind the seeds tour. Same thing, it's around $40 and that's offered at 6 and 8 p.m. And World Showcase, there's a couple different things you can do. You could do a capture your moment package, which is a photo shoot. It's a 20-minute photo shoot in a World Showplace spot. You can choose from Germany, Italy, American Adventure, Japan, or Morocco. That that is just the photo shoot, and then you'd have to purchase your photos separately. So I do want to mention that. If you have PhotoPass or Memory Maker, I believe that's part of that. They'll just scan and go right into your Memory Maker. But if you don't have that, just know that to purchase the photos would be a separate cost. Then there's two fireworks dining packages where you can sit down at one of the restaurants that are on the water, eat dinner, and watch the fireworks. And I think that's a really awesome thing. The two different restaurants that offer this are at Morocco, the Spice Road Table, and then the Rose and Crown at United Kingdom. Both delicious. I've eaten at both and would have beautiful views for the fireworks. So that's if you want really good views for fireworks, consider a fireworks dining package. Okay, and next, last but not least, I know this is a long episode. Epcot has a lot to offer us. The last part I'm going to talk about, again, I've said this a few times now, is that Epcot is truly a festival park. They have festivals almost all year round. There are down times. They vary year to year, so you definitely want to go on and check the dates of the if a festival sounds interesting to you about like when the festival will start and then end. But these are the festivals that currently are offered starting in January or in the winter, in January, there's Festival of the Arts. Oh, this festival's so cool. There's art all over the park, culinary art, visual art, performance art. It's really an incredible festival. That's where they'll have Broadway stars come and perform during Festival of the Arts. I mean, the amount of artwork, visual artwork that is there is unbelievable. There are chalk drawings on the ground. And of course, the festival booths are just so exquisite and gorgeous and visually appealing and delicious. Festival of the Arts is really cool. It's kind of a short festival though. It only runs to like late February, but not the end of February. It like ends, I want to say like in the 20s. So towards the end of February. Anyway, so that's Festival of the Arts, and it's really cool. The next festival in the spring is the Flower and Garden Festival. This festival also beautiful, and they have unique. They're really a flower and garden. They have topiaries at a lot of all over the park, and they'll talk about different flowers and vegetation that thrives, and it's very cool. So that's Flower and Garden Festival. The I think probably the longest running festival is the Food and Wine Festival. It used to be a fall festival, but it starts in August now. It's or July even, I think. I feel like it starts earlier and earlier every year and runs to November. Right before the final festival, which is Festival of the Holidays. So, Food and Wine, again, is just that, a festival of food and wine. And they have the Eat to the Beat concert series at the American Theater, the theater in the American Pavilion. And then finally, we have the Festival of the Holidays. This festival is so magical. So, the performance that goes on, I mentioned before, is the Candlelight Processional. And this is an incredibly moving, sentimental, beautiful processional, a concert, a choir concert of Christmas songs celebrating Jesus, celebrating what Christmas is. It is religious, truly, and it is just so beautiful. So in the center, you'll have the Voices of Liberty, which are the entertainment at the American Adventure. They're just the most beautiful a cappella group. Or I'm not sure if they're true. Yeah, I think they sing a cappella, but they're a beautiful choir. So they're there. They sing during the candlelight processional, and but they also have guest choirs there as well, which is truly amazing. A lot of children participate in different high school choirs and things like that. It's really awesome. There's an incredible orchestra on the stage as well. And then there are celebrity narrators, which are really fun. They change year after year. You start, if this is something that sounds interesting to you, be sure to look it up. In advance, they announce who the narrators are. Jodie Benson, John Stamos, Neil Patrick Harris, a bunch of people who have played Disney characters, Whoopi Goldberg. They've all been celebrity narrators, and they change year after year. Some stay the same and some change. That there are, of course, festival foods and like cookies and things like a cookie straw and things like that. But there's also unique performances and entertainment during Festival of the Holidays at a bunch of different countries and lands and booths throughout the World Showcase. They have narrators that will tell a holiday tradition from that country. So in Italy, there's La Befana. There's a story about a Japanese doll. There's Pierre Noel in France who comes. I'll talk, I'll go into great detail when I talk about each specific festival. But do know that if you're visiting Epcot, there is likely a festival going on, which could really add to your trip. So sorry for this long episode, but again, Epcot has so much to offer. I really appreciate you being here. I hope to see you. Episode 5 is an overview of Hollywood Studios. Thank you so much for listening. Share with someone you think would like this, and I'll see you real soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Disney Days Planning Podcast. See you real soon.